Agatha All Along. It keeps getting better with each episode, does it not?
Yeah. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you. It was the best episode so far.
Though it does seem to cement Sharon's demise.
Well, you never know. But it does give us the best entrance of all Marvel TV, does it not?
Oh yeah, talk about making an entrance. Crawling out of the ground like that. That's intense.
Rio Vidal, Aubrey Plaza. What a casting choice, right?
Perfection. So good. But Agatha doesn't seem too happy about it, does she?
No, she doesn't. The showrunners are teasing a stormy affair. I hope they actually deliver it too.
Exes, rivals, co-killers of other witches, Mistress Death and her lover.
Yeah, could be any of those really. Their scenes together crackle with tension. But Mistress Death, really?
Ooh, I like the sound of that, even if it is far-fetched. Though that line about them being each other's scars.
Yeah, that one definitely got my attention. She definitely can't be Mistress Death's scar.
Well, speaking of attention-grabbing, can we talk about the 70s throwback?
Right. The music, the clothes, the whole vibe was spot on.
That recording studio. Very Daisy Jones, right?
Totally. And it's not just for show. It ties into Alice's trial. This episode digs into her past and finds a generational curse.
Oh boy, yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Not good at all. So basically it's magic, right? But it's passed down through the family line like a messed up inheritance. And for Alice, it all kind of explodes in her trial.
Yeah, complete with accompanying fiery demons.
We don't really get to know the origins of the demon, but it does look great.
Yeah, straight out of a rock concert nightmare or something.
Pretty much. And it was Teen who accidentally summoned them by playing that record backwards. I was expecting it to say Paul is dead, but I guess instead it makes the case for him being Mephisto a tiny bit stronger.
Oh no, he is definitely not Mephisto. It is a great deal more likely that Rio Vidal is Mistress Death, and that is nearly impossible. Rather, tell me, how did they fight the demon back? Inviting him at least led to a fantastic musical performance.
Oh, absolutely. I hope the makers of Doctor Who are taking notes. Unlike their up-and-down musical episode, this was a chartbuster all the way. The magical performance of the Ballad of the Witches with Alice leading the charge is a visual spectacle. Pure energy, magical power. I loved it.
Yeah, it was brilliantly done. But it lacked drama, if you ask me. I felt the big musical climax was a bit rushed. I wanted more from the demon, not just digging the claws into Alice's shoulders.
Yeah, I hear you. As such, it did not feel challenging enough. A little more variety to the fight, you know. Maybe show the music itself being affected by the demon.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like twisting the melody, making it darker, more chaotic before Alice finally wrestles back control. I think that would have given it a real sense of danger, don't you think?
Totally. Slow burn tension leading up to a fiery climax with the demon. Though the slow burn mystery about the teen does seem to be developing beautifully. Agatha's reaction to him getting hurt was interesting. He does make her break character. Do you think he is indeed Nicholas Scratch?
It is not impossible. I mean, it would definitely explain a few things. This episode definitely keeps hinting at it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then Rio just drops that bomb. Point blank. Agatha, that boy isn't yours. Talk about cold.
Right. It's like even in a world of magic and mayhem, family drama still hits the hardest.
It's true though, isn't it? Sometimes the simplest truths are the most brutal.
No kidding. But the way Rio delivered that line, I don't know. It could mean that he is not your son. But it could also mean he is not yours anymore. You gave him up. He is not yours. He may even be a plant to destroy you. And she does add in just a hint of regret, maybe. Or even pain.
Oh yeah, definitely an undercurrent there. And that's what makes their dynamic so compelling. Don't you think? That history, that tension, it's like a powder keg just waiting to explode. I mean, even though Rio isn't a full-on villain in this episode, you can tell there's a darkness there, a potential for chaos. I like where they are going with this, though I have no idea at all where. And that makes it so very exciting in a world where trailers spoil every surprise.
Yeah, this show is all about the long game, right?
Yeah. But even in this episode, we get those glimpses of her darker side. There is the recording booth dialogue about getting all the bodies. And later when she talks about hurting someone she loved and how it was just her job. Chills.
Okay, seriously, chills. What kind of job are we even talking about here? The job of being Mistress Death? And who was this mystery person she loved? Agatha herself, right?
I'd bet on it. The interwires are buzzing with theories, deals with demons, forbidden love, affairs, you name it. Some even threw out names. Blackheart, the Wicked Witch of the West. It's all on the table at this point.
I love a good mystery. But before we get totally lost in demon deals and secret love children, can we talk about the generational trauma? It's subtle, but it feels like a really important undercurrent in this episode, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, you see it with Alice confronting her family's curse. You have Agatha possibly dealing with the loss of her son, even if it's all shrouded in secrecy, even Lilia and those cryptic premonitions of hers. It's like the past just keeps coming back to haunt them, and magic just amplifies everything.
And then there's that line. The one where Lilia says she wants to love everyone while they're still at the cottage. Super dark foreshadowing of something bad to come.
You're right, it's like it's building to something. And speaking of building the trials, we've had water, we've had fire. What does that leave? Earth and air?
Exactly. And think about it. Rio bursts out of the ground, right? Earth magic. Lilia with her visions, her air of mystery, air magic, right?
It makes you wonder, what will their trials look like?
Right? It's like we're standing on the edge of a cliff and we know something big is about to happen, but we don't know what. Talk about suspense.
This show, right? It just keeps you hooked. And if those trials are anything like what we've already seen.
Oh yeah, good point. I mean, water was intense, right? All those emotions, all that buried grief, bubbling to the surface, and then fire, that was just raw power, pure chaos.
And don't forget, each element has its own unique energy, its own symbolism. Water, it's all about emotions, intuition, the subconscious. Fire, it's about passion, destruction, transformation.
So what does that mean for earth and air? What will those trials force Rio and Lilia to confront?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Earth, it's grounded. It's about stability, security, but it can also be about secrets. Buried deep, things hidden from sight.
Ooh, okay, I see where you're going with this.
And then you have air. It's all about intellect, communication, freedom, but it can also be unpredictable, even chaotic.
So if Rio's trial is Earth, does that mean we're finally going to get some answers about her past? About that job she mentioned?
Possibly, I mean, it would make sense, right? Earth is about unearthing what's been hidden.
And Lilia, what about her visions? Do you think those will play a role in her trial?
I'd say it's almost guaranteed. Air is about clarity, about seeing things from a higher perspective, but it can also be about facing harsh truths, even if they're painful.
Yeah, I am so ready for this, but what's crazy, we've only scratched the surface of this episode, and I feel like I need to go back and watch it again with fresh eyes. There's just so much to unpack.
That's the beauty of a show like this, isn't it? Every time you watch it, you notice something new.
Exactly. And I'm sure our listeners are already piecing together their own theories.
Well, absolutely. And that's what we want. We want people to engage with the material, to come up with their own interpretations.
Because everyone brings their own unique perspective, their own experiences to the table. And that's what makes these discussions so much fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's a wrap on Agatha All Along, Episode 4. Remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. Keep those theories coming, keep those questions swirling, and most importantly, keep watching. Who knows what other magical mysteries await us on the Witch's Road?
See you next time.